Hello everybody, welcome to iExamB. This is Amrita, your law faculty at iExamB. In this video, I am going to continue a series of previous year questions for SEBI Grade A Legal Officer Examination. But before we start with our discussion of all the questions, I would suggest you don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is LegalB, and stay updated with all such kind of content, questions, and all exam updates, notifications, etc. You can also write to us at hello@iexamb.com and इस वीडियो के कमेंट सेक्शन में आप कमेंट्स के द्वारा भी हमसे कोई भी रिक्वेस्ट या कोई भी डाउट्स लिखकर रिक्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं. We will surely try to come with a resolution on it. You can also call on this number and visit our website for more details. मैंने इससे पहले एक वीडियो बनाया था जिसमें मैंने प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस डिस्कस किए थे फ्रॉम द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ लॉ ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स. Law of contracts I had discussed in part 1. Now this is part 2 that I have come up with another video discussing all the questions that have come from the topic of constitutional law of the year 2020 and 2022. This is actually a previous year paper analysis based previous year question discussion that we are doing in this video. You can also refer an analysis video that was already released earlier on this channel by Vidika maam. You can refer it. आपको उससे काफ़ी आइडिया लग जाएगा कि कितने सारे टॉपिक्स में से कितने क्वेश्चंस आप एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो. यू कैन हैव अ रेडीमेड एनालिसिस फॉर इट विच विल डेफिनेटली हेल्प यू. इन दीज वीडियोज स्टे ट्यून फॉर ऑल द क्वेश्चंस. टुडे वी आर पिकिंग अप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया. You can first check out the syllabus, phase 1, phase 2. There is a 10% weightage in all the phases, and you can check out the topics that have been added in phase 2 as well. Now let us move quickly to the questions that have come. I have covered all the phases, phase 1 and phase 2, both of 2020 and 2022 paper. Both I have covered in this particular video. First question, when Constitution was adopted? This was a very direct question and a very scoring, I would say. Within seconds you can solve it and score. Very direct question. Answer is of course 26th of November 1949 when the Constitution was actually adopted by us. And it was actually adopted and it came into force formally on 26th of Jan 1950. Even we got this question. Immediately next question, that was when Constitution came into force. एक ही पेपर में ये दोनों भी questions आए थे. So you can see how scoring it was and how easy it was. 26th of Jan 1949, 26th of November. Why they chose these questions basically? क्योंकि आपको confusion हो सकता है dates में. That is the reason maybe they have chosen this, and that's why I always recommend the students to pick such kind of areas which can be tricked by the examiners, even if it is a simple date based direct question. So 26th of Jan 1950 is the date when we also celebrate as Republic Day. That was when the Constitution was adopted, and that was when the Constitution came into force, and it was adopted on 26th of November. What is the third question? Third question talks about preamble. Preamble is another very important topic from the subject of constitutional law. काफ़ी questionable area है. preamble से आप काफ़ी questions expect कर सकते हो. So it is talking about the words that were added after amendment into the preamble. इसमें आपको ऐसे भी पूछा जा सकता है कि कौन से amendment के through preamble में words add किए थे. Answer is of course secular and socialist. ये originally नहीं थे preamble में. 42nd amendment has added these words into the preamble. Not only these, but also the words unity of nation was changed to unity and integrity of the nation. So that also you should keep a note and remember. यहाँ से questions आने के काफ़ी chances हैं. Fourth question, if a state needs to be amended, that means you want to add, delete or cause so many changes as in the state that has been enlisted in the schedules. So which schedule of constitution you will have to amend? That was asked, and the answer is first schedule. First schedule में सारे states और union territories के names and territorial jurisdictions included हैं. You can see how easy and direct questions have been asked. State Council of Ministers is maximum how much percentage of Legislative Assembly or Council? This was a good question. If anybody has read not only the headings but also some text of the article, you have to read. It's not that everything will be directly asked to you. So 15% is the answer. State Council of Ministers shall be 15% of the Legislative Council or Assembly. They should comprise 50% of the strength. That is what is directly mentioned. Procedure for the formation of Council of Ministers is going to be same as a Union Council of Ministers. So that logic everyone has to apply. There is no change. Basic composition will remain 15% only in that case. Now coming to bills. An ordinary bill has to go through following stages to become an act. Now this is a question in which you have to focus more on the options. What stages a bill has to go through when it becomes an act. Now first, second and third reading, or there is some other option also. So the correct option here will be all the stages. First, second and third reading will be there. Then after that it will be introduced in the second house. It will be introduced in the second house after all the readings. But there is only one option in this question which is comprehensive. All stages as mentioned in option B. यानी कि इतने सारे stages तो है ही, इसके अलावा same procedure first, second, third reading will go on in the second house also. क्योंकि उन्होंने कहा है यहाँ पर ordinary bill की बात की गई है specifically. Okay, so the answer will be all stages as mentioned in option B, and introduction of bill in the second house. You can also refer the article numbers. Article numbers are also very important. If it was a money bill, the procedure is different. Ordinary bill, it is different. So 110, 111 articles are also important over here, along with 107 and 108. Ordinary bill is introduced where? Money bill is introduced where? Now ordinary bill can be amended or rejected by Rajya Sabha and can be also detained for a period of 6 months. But is it so in case of money bill? No. So these things you should be very clear with. And assent of the President, Article 111. Education as a fundamental duty provides for education for the age group of. Now Constitution provides for, rather it should be, Constitution provides for education as a fundamental duty for the age group of. Now age group पर question आया था. Right to education पर काफ़ी बार questions आते हैं, and the age group that has been provided in fundamental duty, that specifically you have to check out. Age groups में कई बार हम लोग confuse हो जाते हैं, that is why we don't have to get confused. 6 to 14 years is the correct answer. It was the duty of every parent. Article 51A talks about the fundamental duties, and the 11th duty was added by 86th amendment. इसको आप बहुत अच्छे से ध्यान में रखें and learn कर लें that what is it, by which amendment it was added, which duty is it. 86th amendment is important from that point of view, as it has added 11th duty, and all the 11 fundamental duties you should go through once. उसमें education से question आने के chances हैं. In Constitution of India, law inconsistent with or in derogation with fundamental rights. Law includes. Now this is which article first, you should guess that. Sometimes they don't mention articles, they don't mention sections directly, provisions directly. ऐसे statement देने के बाद हमें immediately click होना चाहिए, because this is a very common article, of course, article 13. So article 13 के हिसाब से law क्या है? So this is the correct option. Any ordinance, order, bylaw, rule, regulation, notification, customs, usages, everything that is having a force of law in the territory of India. So Article 13(3) directly talks about this, and that they have picked directly and asked a question. Article 14 of the Constitution of India states that, this I would say is the easiest question of all. इसमें कोई एक्सप्लेनेशन भी मुझे नहीं लगता देने की ज़रूरत है. आंसर इज़ वेरी क्लियर. Article 14 as it is, they have picked up, it shall not deny to any person equality before law or equal protection of law. So option D is correct over here. ऐसे ऐसे direct questions भी आ जाते हैं कई बार. Which of the following words were added to preamble by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act? Now this was again asked in one of the previous year papers. ये question हम लोगों ने थोड़ा सा अलग form में देखा था. Only it was directly asking amendment of preamble what was added. Now 42nd amendment, constitutional amendment, they have mentioned over here in the question, and of course the answer remains socialist and secular. So you can see preamble is a very important topic. दोनों ही साल में continuously ये question आया है. Which of the following writs are present under the Constitution of India? Again, it's just asking about writs. Everybody, every law student, every person related to the field of law should definitely know the topic of writs. So they have just asked about writs, and we all know there are 5 writs: habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, coronto and certiorari. इसको थोड़ा सा twist करके भी पूछा जा सकता है, depends. So you should be thoroughly prepared with the topic of writs also. कौन सी टाइप की writ किस तरीके से पूछी जाएगी. And Article 32 Clause 2 talks about the power of Supreme Court as well. Supreme Court shall has power to issue directions or orders or writs, including all those writs for enforcement of any rights conferred by this part, that is part 3. Then coming to part 4, another important topic. Provisions contained in part 4 of the Constitution shall not be enforceable by court, shall be enforceable, shall not be enforceable. Now इसके लिए आपको कुछ important parts के numbers याद होने ज़रूरी हैं. Okay, which part is it? You should not get confused. Part 4 है क्या है? Fundamental right तो नहीं है. No, it is directive principle of state policy. तो इतना आपको याद होना चाहिए, इतना basic तो, कि अगर ऐसा पूछा जाए, DPSP word उन्होंने यहाँ पे mention नहीं किया है. They have just asked the provisions contained in part 4 of the Constitution. And is it enforceable? No, it is not enforceable. It is fundamental rights are enforceable, but nevertheless they are fundamental in the governance of the country. यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा changes भी आ सकते थे. Fundamental in governance of the country को एक option में रखा जाता और एक में नहीं रखा जाता. We would have seen that it is not enforceable और हम वो mark कर देते. But we have to read the options very carefully, completely, and उसके हिसाब से हमें answers करने होते हैं. Article 37 भी यहाँ पे पूछा जा सकता था directly. So remember the important articles also. Again a question on education, right to education. It was from duty earlier, now it is about right. Education से related amendment newly है as compared to other topics. तो ये questions आने के थोड़े chances होते हैं. Right to education का status क्या है? Is it a fundamental right? Is it a constitutional right? Is it only a fundamental duty? This is a beautiful question. Both constitutional right and a fundamental duty. Now the answer is A, fundamental rights as per Article 21A. अब आप कहोगे कि मैम इसमें fundamental duty भी तो है, constitutional right भी तो है, but remember you have to choose the most appropriate answer. कभी भी आपको क्वेश्चन की फ्रेमिंग देखनी होती है एंड देन यू हैव टू चूज द आंसर विच इज मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट इन दैट पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन एंड देन टिक दैट पर्टिकुलर आंसर. सो यहाँ पर इस सिचुएशन में फंडामेंटल राइट एज पर आर्टिकल 21A इज द मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट आंसर हियर. एंड 86th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट से ये ऐड हुआ है. इट वॉज इंसर्टेड इन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन टू प्रोवाइड फ्री एंड कंपल्सरी एजुकेशन फॉर ऑल चिल्ड्रन in the age group of 6 to 14 years. Now writ of certiorari can be filed before. Where can the writ of certiorari be filed? Writ of certiorari can be filed before which court? अब यहाँ पर confusion होने के chances नहीं होने चाहिए, because अगर हमारा basic concept clear है कि writs कौन से courts में file होती है, of course it is only in the constitution courts. It is only in the constitutional courts that they are having this power by the constitution, isn't it? Only the constitutional courts are having this power. So applying that basic logic, you can easily answer the question High Court and Supreme Court. 32 and 226 of the Constitution are of course covering the writ jurisdiction. Next question, equal pay for equal work. अब ऐसे भी कुछ क्वेश्चंस आ जाते हैं व्हेन दे आर डायरेक्टली पिकिंग अप द स्टेटमेंट्स फ्रॉम द न्यूज आल्सो एंड देन दे आर रिलेटिंग इट विद द आर्टिकल्स. Equal pay for equal work. It is not only news, but in generally I am telling you a tip कि ऐसा भी होता है. They are picking up some statements which are currently in news and then they relate it with the relevant article of the constitution and they ask it, or some slogans. Anything can be done. Now here, which they are not asking you the article, they are asking you the part. Okay, so take care of these things. Which part of the constitution is dealing with it? Is it part 3? Is it fundamental right? इसके लिए आपको इन basic parts के numbers पता होने चाहिए. And the answer is of course part 4. Part 4, that is article 39, which is talking about directive principle of state policy. Equal pay for equal work is dealt with in this particular provision for both men and women. Contingency fund. Contingency fund is a very attractive area for the examiners. They generally ask you even the article numbers in such kind of cases. Now here it was asked, there was different kind of wordings that were used, so कुछ students confused भी हो गए थे इसमें. But when you see the explanation, contingency fund का अगर आपका basic concept clear है, then you can easily solve this. यहाँ पर is an impressed account that is to meet the unforeseen expenditure. Article 267 of the Constitution of India deals with it, and if you refer this article carefully, you will find this particular word that is used in the article also. हम लोग ये नहीं पढ़ते हैं, but अगर आप unforeseen expenditure पढ़ते तो आपको इसका idea लग जाता. That and this nature of an impressed account, that is directly used in Article 267 clause 1 also. From here it has been picked up. Which of the following writ order, again a question from writs, which of the following writ order can be issued in case of illegal detention? And it is of course very easy, everybody can answer within seconds. Habeas corpus. It is the most valuable writ for personal liberty. Everybody knows there are many case laws also relating to this. Let us have the body. Person when arrested can move the court for issue of habeas corpus. Assurances of property and contracts are made on behalf of the government in the name of. Now what they are asking, that in the name of whom. अब यहाँ पर हम लोग कई बार कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं कि किसके नाम पर गवर्नमेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, प्रॉपर्टीज के एश्योरेंसेस एंटर किए जाते हैं. एंड द आंसर रिमेन्स प्रेसिडेंट और गवर्नर एज द केस में. यहाँ पे कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को लग सकता है मिनिस्टर्स हैं, प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैं, सिर्फ प्रेसिडेंट है. नो, the answer is strict from constitution itself as per article 299. read it carefully. Sometimes what happens, we just read president and we just move ahead. हम भूल जाते हैं कि यहाँ पर गवर्नर है या नहीं है, ये चेक करना हमारा काम है. कौन से प्रोविजंस में सिर्फ प्रेसिडेंट है और कौन से प्रोविजंस में प्रेसिडेंट और पैरेलली पावर स्टेट्स में गवर्नर को भी दिया गया है. सो लाइक दिस वी हैव टू स्टडी वॉट एवर वी आर स्टडिंग, वी हैव टू स्टडी केयरफुली सो दैट इफ अ क्वेश्चन आस्क्ड वहाँ पे हमें गलत नहीं होना है. What they have given here clearly in the article 298 clause 1, all contracts that are made in exercise of executive power of the union or of the state shall be expressed to be made by the president or by the governor of the state. So the answer will not be just A, but it will be B over here in this particular question. An amendment of the constitution. Amendment, another very important topic from constitutional law. It can be carried out by. It can be carried out by. For this you have to be very clear with the procedure of amendment, and that is provided under article 368 of the constitution. It says that an amendment can be carried out. Of course, for that you have to introduce a bill, and now confusion arises whether it can be introduced in Lok Sabha, in Rajya Sabha, or in both houses. So it can be introduced in either house of the parliament. ये procedure अगर हो सके तो आप इसको थोड़ा सा अलग शॉर्ट नोट फॉर्म में लिख कर ले लो एंड इसको अपने दिमाग में अच्छे से बिठा लो, बिकॉज इफ अ क्वेश्चन कम्स यू शुड नॉट लूज मार्क्स. एंड ये जो रैटिफिकेशन वाला प्रोसीजर है स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर्स का, ये भी है 368 में. तो हमें कंफ्यूजन नहीं होना चाहिए. वी शुड बी वेरी क्लियर कि रैटिफिकेशन जो है स्टेट्स लेजिस्लेचर्स का, इसकी ज़रूरत कब होती है, व्हेन इन सर्टन केसेस देयर इज सम चेंज बीइंग ब्रॉट अबाउट इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन रिलेटिंग टू दी स्टेट्स. ऐसे कुछ लिस्ट दी हुई है 368 में. अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट वी हैव टू डिसाइड इफ दिस इज रिक्वायर्ड और नॉट. बट जनरल पैरलांस में ये रिक्वायर्ड नहीं है. जनरल पैरलांस में इन ऑप्शंस में से मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट यही रहेगा दैट बिल कैन बी इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन ईदर हाउस ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट. So like that, many times refer the options and refer the wordings of the question. Again and again I'm telling you this thing, refer and focus on the wordings that have been used in the question and उस हिसाब से अपना most appropriate answer select कीजिए. Okay, these were all the set of questions from constitutional law of the previous year papers 2020 and 2022 of SEBI. Now one small announcement, we are celebrating Big B days from 13th to 16th of September. So this is a very beneficial period. Anybody interested in online course for SEBI and also for many other examinations like IBPS, RBI and so on, तो आप क्विकली आई एग्जामी की वेबसाइट पर जाकर विजिट करें, मॉक टेस्ट को भी देखें. दीज आर इन फ्री एंड देयर इज अ फ्लैट 57% ऑफ ऑन ऑल द ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज, इवन ऑन SEBI Grade A online course. So go and visit and take benefit of it, and don't forget to subscribe. Prepare 50% faster with iExamB. Thank you everybody.